I feel good height.
Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. Joining us now is a mixed martial artist fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tim Sosa, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you? Thank you for having me.
No, of course, man. It's a pleasure to have you. First time I've interviewed you, and you know you've been deep in this fight game for a little bit already, right?
Yeah, since I think I had my first kickboxing bout with Fit in 2008, and my first MMA match in 2009. So.
Yeah. And here specifically, you're here to discuss the King of the Cage contest that's happening Saturday night at Embassy Suites. You're headlining. How do you feel to headline this card here, and especially in your hometown?
People have been getting kind of like a lackluster response from me. To me, it's just another fight. You know, it's main event is better for like marketing, but if you ask me, it's more of a hassle since I show up to do my job,
Right.
and they got to make me wait. And you know, I just want to get in, do my job, and go out and eat some food.
Now, your opponent in this one, you know, Jimmy Flick, he's a pretty good fighter, 7-1 fighting out of Oklahoma. I guess he could kind of be considered regional. So how much do you know about the guy, or have you seen a whole lot on him?
I haven't really seen anything on Jimmy. I know that he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I kind of leave that stuff up to my coaches. You know, I find that whenever I just kind of focus on what I'm going to do, like I end up a lot more free.
Right.
Whereas if I like look at my opponent a little bit too much, I end up just like waiting for them to do those tendencies.
Yeah.
So I just, whatever my coaches feel like I need to know, I just let them tell me.
Yeah, and I guess that makes a lot of sense. So does that make you think differently about fighters that do watch a lot of film, or a lot of like that do that game planning that way?
No, not at all. Like I feel there's a downside and an upside to both of them. That's just the approach I find that I like to take before a fight.
Right. Now, your career, you started off with a solid amateur campaign, and then when your professional career started, you dropped your first two fights, and since then you've been 4-1. So what turned that around for you, do you feel? What was it?
It's very easy to look at. I had just a very bad person in my life that was just affecting me negatively, and as soon as that person was gone, like everything just changed. Also, I didn't get to sleep for almost 3 days before my XFC, so like XFC debut. So when the fight came, I didn't want to fight. I just wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to take a nap. And then I also separated my shoulder the week before, so I couldn't even lift my arm the night before. And then I actually won my second fight, but they mixed up our names. I'm just not a joke, not a joke. They mixed up our names. And then the commission refused to overturn it. So
On what grounds did they not want to overturn it? I mean, if the scores are incorrect, shouldn't that be something they fix at their next meeting or one of the next meetings?
Exactly. But it's just so hard to get a decision overturned. So we just rematched that opponent, and I smashed him in the first round. So I was like, all right, you can.
So I guess in a way that made up for it.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to axe that L off my list, but like statistically, but metaphorically and pridefully, I definitely wiped that L.
What state was that in?
Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man,
that's all you had to say.
I'm having the Texas is not my favorite spot right now.
Well, I think MMA and boxing, it is a commission that struggles there a little bit. So you mentioned kickboxing. How did you get your start in MMA? Was it just an easy transition since you were already, I guess, in an MMA gym?
No, actually, because I'm just so unathletic and uncoordinated. It was definitely and I used to be a lot heavier. They definitely took the slow and steady route, whereas like my teammate Ray Borg is just a natural, and they were able to throw him in right away. They took a longer road to get me ready for that stuff.
Yeah. Now I love following you on social media, man. I think you're hilarious. Now, what do you owe, and why do you think, you know, people, especially in the fight game, aren't as just chill and relax, and you know, and just try to be funny the way you are?
It's just, I honestly, I'm just myself. People, like, as an MMA fighter, I feel like you need to be tough or act tough, and I'm like, who cares, you know?
Yeah.
I would prefer people just, if I offend people, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to change. But I have had to cut back on what I post just because I'm more in like the public eye.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's like a lot of why fighters stay away from that. Maybe they have too many people watching them, or they're afraid like they're gonna come off as like not a tough guy or something.
Right. For people that do want to follow you on social media, what are you on, and what are your handles so we can catch you?
I'm on. You can find me at Tim Sosa on Facebook, or at Instagram and at Twitter at TimboSlice505.
And finally, thanks for coming on again. Jimmy Flick against Tim Sosa out of Albuquerque, Saturday night at the Embassy Suites Hotel, which is not too far from here. You could walk there, man.
You guys can walk just Lomas in the I-25.
Make sure you guys follow him online and check him out at the fights this Saturday night. We'll see you guys after the break.